Metaphor of rich and poor. What does this metaphor mean? Imagine that each person has a bathtub that represents their level of wealth or economic well-being. Wealthy people. They have a large faucet that constantly runs a lot of water. This represents high income, inheritances, investments, businesses, rents, etc. They have a small or controlled drain, their expenses are easily covered, and they can save and invest. Result: their bathtub fills faster and stays full. Poor people. They have a small or intermittent faucet, low, unstable, or informal income. They have a large or broken drain, many expenses, debt, inflation, lack of savings. Result: they struggle to fill their bathtub, and even if they do, it empties quickly. What does this represent in real life? Those born into wealth have an advantage. They have the resources to study, undertake, and live without emergencies. Those born into poverty have to struggle to survive and often fail to accumulate anything. This metaphor reflects how inequality not only persists, but can increase over time if there are no mechanisms to redistribute opportunities. Why does it become a cycle? The rich invest and earn more. The poor work harder, but barely survive. Without external intervention, such as education, public health, fiscal redistribution, etc., the rich tend to get richer and the poor remain trapped. What does this metaphor teach? That inequality is not just a matter of individual effort. That the starting point and environmental conditions greatly influence opportunities. That breaking the cycle requires changing the system, not just asking people to try harder. Paradoxically, the same metaphor can also be applied within the United States. Despite being a wealthy country, there are large gaps between rich and poor. A small percentage of the population concentrates a huge portion of the national wealth. There are extremely wealthy areas, such as Silicon Valley or Manhattan, and very poor ones, such as rural areas of Mississippi or marginalized neighborhoods in Detroit. A dual social reality can be observed: neighborhoods with luxury mansions and, just a few miles away, communities with a lack of access to basic services. For example, the United States is a first-world country where millions live in third-world conditions. This metaphor becomes evident when the income of the richest 1% is compared with that of the rest of the population. Racial and ethnic differences in access to healthcare, education, or housing are analyzed. The phenomenon of the working poor is observed: people with jobs who still cannot escape poverty. What mechanisms could balance the water? Improve the quality of the public education system, open larger taps for the poorest. Progressive tax reform, increase taxes on the wealthy and redistribute resources. Investment in healthcare, infrastructure, and universal social security, plug broken drains for the most vulnerable. Promote formal employment with decent wages.